Hey, what's up, Facebook family? We just having a conversation in the center, and so let's see where this takes us. Follow along. Go ahead, Alicia. What were you saying?
All I'm saying is, back in the day, you become an adult, and it's an expectation that you're ready to be an adult, to get married, to have a family. It wasn't an expectation that you have all this time to explore. We encourage people to date as many people as they can while they can. Like, we encourage all this exploration, which I think is what makes people more immature, because we tell them they're not ready to be an adult. We say, you need to go do this. We don't give you any responsibility. When my mom was 12, the amount of responsibility she had compared to a 12-year-old today is completely different. She was already working to help do stuff around the house with the family. They had to go out in the fields and work and do like, they had to contribute to the family at a young age. So then by the time you're actually old enough, you weren't expecting to have this support to just explore.
And
you had to grow up.
And we have this illusion, and it is an illusion, that we have so many options, and like things like Tinder and things like that give us the illusion that
For dating.
Like, for dating. That I'm speaking specifically.
And we do that for everything, though. It's not even just, it's even if you look at a student trying to pick their major.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, you don't know because you can try anything. We don't even necessarily tell them, look at the job prospects. It's just, well, what subject do you love? Right. Well, just because you love history, it don't mean you're going to be able to get a job.
But I think that's
we don't talk realistically
But I think that's
anymore.
been the shift, period. Mm-hmm. And I think, and no fault of our parents, but every generation, you want your generation to do better. You want your kids to do better. And so now I want DJ and them to be in a better situation. And since I'm in a different situation, I can allow them the opportunity to explore. I just want you to do what you're happy about. You know, I can say that to them. Where back in the day, it wasn't a no. You go to the plant because the plant is hiring.
Yeah.
You got this job because you got a family that you got to support.
But it has to be a balance, I feel like, somewhere in the middle between figuring out what you love, but also teaching you that you have to be responsible. Not giving you a pass to be like, oh, go off and just do whatever, because it doesn't matter. You're young.
Right.
It's okay. Like, because those things can have consequences, whether you're young or not. Right. It's a lot of young people out here, if you're talking dating-wise, with STDs, pregnancies that they weren't ready for, all kinds of things, because they get into these situations because they're just exploring, they're just testing the waters, and that's not always safe. Versus teaching them to be responsible. If a boy was young and he was already being taught, well, it's a big deal when you sleep with somebody. It's not just this thing inside of you that you have that you just get to act on because you have that feeling. No, there's a responsibility that comes with that. We don't talk about that. Who says that?
But there's a responsibility that comes along with everything we do.
There is.
And you're right, especially when you're bringing children in the world. But we don't even teach the responsibility of taking care of your children. So now you have this child, but now the importance of taking care of the child, and meaning that now you have to be willing to sacrifice what you want to do for what you need to do.
Yes, and every time you sleep with somebody, you take that chance. And are you ready to make that decision right now? We don't think about it that way.
No,
it's just the moment.
Because Carl and them trying to get that 2 minute in. Trying to get that. It's a wrap. That 2 minute. Did
you catch that?
All they care about is that 2 minutes. You know, I got hard 2 minutes. And they ain't thinking about the consequences, not just 18 years, but after the 18 years.
Well, and also the immediate consequences too, like the imbalance of feelings in relationships. I think guys usually know if a girl is into them, and even if she says that she's not, because she wants the attention or whatever, and wants the, like, what you're going to offer her in the moment, thinking about, like, what's my impact on this person? This is a human being.
But girls lie as well. Because sometimes in a relationship, a girl says, I'm good. I'm not going to catch feelings. Right. This is the rules we got established. Now, all of a sudden, like you said, because you have this being who's a feeling being, emotional being, does start to catch feelings, and now the rules of the game didn't change.
I think it's unhealthy to suppress the catching feelings. I'm not saying you, Carl. I'm saying, like, this is everybody. And it's literally,
both sides is wrong, because you also, you can't, as a woman, attach, okay, well, I want this guy to like me, so now I need to do something physical with him. Why can't it be, I like this guy, but I'm worth more. I don't have to give it to every person that I like. Right. Because every time you do that, you're still willingly giving something away.
But I think you don't have to. But the important thing you said in there is the worth. And I think we all are guilty of forgetting what we're worth.
Right. Yes.
And that's the key. is we forget what we're worth. And so when you forget what you're worth, you're willing to settle for anything. Mm-hmm. And so when he treats you bad or she treats you bad, the first time you're like, no, I know my worth. But then after a while, you start to allow that person to do or train them how they're okay treating you. So I can treat you this way because at first you said it was bad, but now all of a sudden you're still coming back to me. So now I got you.
Right. That's where the manipulation happens.
Yes.
I will say that in the context of college, I think women feel, they're like, I've read things about this. This is not just my perception. Women feel that like the only way they can be in a relationship with a guy or get male attention is to do the casual thing, even if they're not happy with it. So I think that goes on a lot. Yeah.
And I'm saying you have to start with your young girls and start teaching them. You have to disconnect that before they get a chance to be in the environment where that's being reinforced. If I've already built that into who you are and the thread of what's driving you as an adolescent, then we got a different result. But if you're just letting them watch TV and get all these images from outside,
and it's not just the younger, it's the young boys, teaching them what it means to really be a man and that responsibility of being a man. And it's kind of like, I remember I used to always think, I had a student who came in here and he was talking about, man, just even the black people here, they not black. And I'm like, so what is black to you? And so we have this perception of you have to act one way in order to be black. Remember, I used to be in my office and this guy, I ain't gonna say his name, but this one guy used to say, because we, at the time, we had jet skis. And I said, man, we going on our jet skis. He was like, man, that's what white people do. And I'm like, that's what white people do. I'm like, well, what black people do? He's like, man, you know what black people do. And I was like, well, what black people do? He said, we have picnics. And I said, okay. So we at the park that's by water, and we just eating barbecue? And the white people out there on the jet skis? That's messed up. Because they just laughing like, on the jet ski, and we just eating barbecue. Blood pressure going up. High cholesterol, all kind of stuff. I mean, that don't make any sense. So the definition of, that how do you define your blackness or your being bringing to this planet? And I think it's all messed up because now, depending on your environment, who you're hanging around, the blackness might be you got to have 20 girls because that's what a man is. You got one girl? Man, please. You're supposed to have all these girls. You're supposed to have multiple girls. Or you got to have this watch, or you got to have this car, you got to have this. That's what being black is. Or and it's messed. It's warped. It's warped. So it's not just the young women, but it's the men as well. Because you got these little boys. My son had basketball tryouts. Came home and said, came to the office and said that they had basketball tryouts today. And I said, did you try out? He said, no. He said, remember we talked about I want to play piano. That's what he told me. That's hot. You know what I mean? He sacrificed basketball because he wants to play piano. So talking to his cousins when we go home for Thanksgiving and they asked him, D, you playing basketball now? I heard you was playing football. He was like, no, I'm playing piano. The rest of his little cousins that hear him probably going to talk about him. But I got to encourage my young man to say, that's okay, because this is what you want to do. And later on in life, I tell you what, boy, see a piano in the room, and you go over and play that piano, every girl go flock towards that piano.
But that's what But bring it right back to all the girls. A whole group of them.
No, I'm just saying, if that's, trust me, because, the basket, they get the girls and all that. But it's different.
You don't have to worry about DJ. He's not kissing till he gets married.
You just keep saying it. I want you to keep putting it out there in the universe. That's what's up. Keep putting it out there.